Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's go ahead and get started here. Let's make sure that we have sound check everywhere. So I'm going to be looking at WebEx and also here on Discord. Just give me 1 second. There we go. And let's look down here. All right, looks like we're ready to go. You guys should be able to hear and see my screen. Again, good morning, everybody. Today is the 27th of July, 2021. And let's go ahead and start the day off with our futures. So ES futures, just to show you kind of what's going on, my positions are up here on the top. Over here on the left, I have my favorite watch list. And then underneath that, my focus, so most of these trades that I'm actually in. And then down here, using Thinkorswim's Trade Flash. This is a great tool to use just for up and coming any catalyst events that are going on, such as upgrades, downgrades, unusual option activity sometimes, and just gap ups and so forth. Okay, and those will kind of steer you in a direction. Hey, I might be interested in looking at one of these stocks. But again, anything that I look at, any tool that I'm going to use, it has to fit the profile of trendy methodology. So let's go ahead and get started here with the ES futures. Over here on the left is going to be our weekly, and over here on the right is going to be a 5-minute chart for right now, talking about ES futures. And what about WebEx, Jennifer? Can you guys hear over there? Can you guys hear me on WebEx? Are we good over there? Okay, cool. All right, good deal. All right, so ES futures, what do we have? We have a weekly candle that's up over the previous base. It looks like we're headed towards my target of 44.66 as of right now. Far as support, I would be looking for support down here at the weekly 9 EMA. This is the bigger picture. So as long as 43.13 holds, this continues to move up towards 44.16. Now, one thing I do want to note and let you know, this red box doesn't necessarily mean that price will absolutely turn here. What it means is that this is a Fibonacci extension that I gave you in December of 2020, and using the methodology that I've taught here in the room, or taught you here in the room, you know that a lot of times these work well. Okay, but if that 44.66 for some reason is claimed and we hold it, we continue to trend up as long as 44.66 holds. Now, getting into a little bit closer here, let's go over here to the 4 hour. And these levels are very important for today. I'm going to go ahead and go over those with you. Now, you can apply this to SPY. Remember, every 10 points in the ES is $1 in the SPY. All right, so this morning on ES, expected range for me is 4440 by 4365. Let me go ahead and show you that. This is my upper target here. You can see that. This is just a fib extension target. And then to the downside, we want to know where support is. I gave you these charts yesterday, and I just want you to see this. This was, again, from yesterday before the market opened. Okay, we had this is now support 4380 by 4365. Notice that price came into this level of support, and this is a buy zone. All right, so that's how you look at this. This level here was resistance at one time and now has become support. We also have a nice inside and up here. Price has moved out of this inside and up, and once it comes back around, has tested that and now found buyers. Now, going into this afternoon with such big earnings, such as AMD, Apple, all those big names, it's very important to understand that we are probably most likely going to move sideways with a possible run towards the end of the day. All right. And so just keep that in mind. So we have what we call the daily edges. All right. Remember, we have edges for leap trading, weekly trading, daily trading, and intraday trading. Notice that we have these boxes here with the cloud. This is going to be your resistance, mid, and lower on the curve, both of these being support. If for some reason we start to close under 43.95, then you could see a move down to 87 and then 80. All right, but for right now, notice how we are coming up and making lower highs. So we have this pivot here, boom, find a trendy edge, move up, lower high. So on open, it's very important that we pay attention. If we cannot take out this pivot high, then I would presume we are going to reject here and then just kind of go sideways into this afternoon and kind of wait for some of these names to potentially have a run into their earnings. Okay. All right, and then some of those names again: Apple, AMD, Google, Microsoft, Visa, TDocs, Starbucks, all these great names. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and go over here into a few focus. Well, we'll go to Nasdaq Futures. This is really important. This is our blueprint as well. And on this, about 42 points or so for every dollar in the Qs. And using these blueprints again, what I'm looking for here, as long as 14,973 holds, this is the bigger picture on the left. I'm looking for 15,223. Overall trend is up. You can see here this was the buying opportunity that we got last week from the trendy edge, and it continues to move up very nicely. Over here, notice how well the trendy edges are working. Again, I can't make this stuff up for you guys. This is your resistance. This is your support. You buy at support. You look to sell or trim into resistance. So your expected range today for the NASDAQ, and this is going to include tonight after we have report. Okay, so have earnings. These are my numbers. My expected range for the NASDAQ is 15,223. That's going to be this number up here to the upside. And to the downside, 14,973. Again, 15,223 by 14,973. Let's go ahead and go over Bitcoin just really quick. So Bitcoin, listen guys, again, I can't make this up. I gave this to you months ago. Not only did I give you this target in advance, it hit our target, it moved down. I shorted Bitcoin futures. We got it down into the level we were looking for, and as I said, this would take a long time for it to build its base. Well, it's finally come out of that base. It's moved out of the green box, and yesterday moved into the trendy edge. When price is under that, we look for resistance. Very straightforward. Now, you're going to see a lot of different news catalysts come in here and try to scare traders out of their positions. This is really common when we're coming out of a buy zone, right? They're trying to keep you from making that leap. Now, notice, okay, if we zoom in here, very important, the support was at the trendy edge. See that pink line? Resistance was at the trendy edge. Case closed. Very simple process to follow. So what do we do from here? You don't do anything. The green box is holding. This level right here is resistance. I'm not a fan of going long or adding to a position unless you can close over 39,919 for at least a day or two. Okay? Then we'll be over this weekly cloud and things can start to then move up towards 45 and 47,500. Let's go ahead and take a look over here at Apple. We have earnings at the end of the day. This has been our blueprint for some time now, and it's working out very well. We moved into the extension 23.6 that I measured, and we also had a box where you wanted to get long on a reclaim. So when you reclaim that 143.78, you're now sitting at 149.26. You can see this box has worked very nicely. Also, the 23.6 has worked very nicely. It's not tapped it, not a big deal, but 150.16, that's a key for me. So if, let's say we break out this morning instead of pulling back, I'm not really looking to intraday trade this Apple unless it can get over 150.16. So that means for me, I need a pullback, okay? For that pullback, I'm just going to measure this last week and a half that we've had, and I want price to stay above the 38.2 and the 23.6. Notice how prices come down into the 23.6 and found buyers at 147.92. So depending on what your risk is or your tolerance and so forth, I'm a buyer if it comes back to 147.92 and reclaims. And say it's early in the day, that gives me an opportunity to try to get a run up before tonight's numbers back into that 150 level. Okay, so again, it needs to break out above 150.16 in order to get my attention, or come back towards 147.92. If it does neither of one of those, then I'm just going to stay flat and not do anything with Apple. Okay. Now, I will tell you, I really like Apple's setup. If earnings was not here, I would be pointing towards 160 to 170, 60 days out. That's just me from a technical standpoint here. It's looking really good. We had a buy zone down here, and then we created support down here at the trendy edge, and now we're just kind of cup and handle. Boom. I'm looking for this up towards the 100% extension. Okay. All right, so Airbnb, this is a trade that I'm currently in. Just want to show you guys really quick. This was our blueprint. It came into support. It's moving well. Notice yesterday it closed or is resisting right around the trendy edge. This is very common. This is an inside and up formation on the weekly. And if we can continue to move in this trips 142.48 and can hold that, I would say for 2 to 4 hours, I do think that we continue up towards our 149 to 153 targets. Again, I believe we still have 80 days on this position, and earnings do come in around 8/12/21. Okay. All right, I do want to go over AAL as well. This is a long-term 500 plus days on options here. We're close to about 35%, I believe. I am looking for a move to continue as long as 2140 can hold. I'm looking for 2409, 2546, 25 would put us in the money with 500 plus days left. My overall target for right now with AAL for this year is 2823, and you can see that right up here. Okay, that's the bigger picture. All right, and as I'm talking, guys, if you have anything that you want me to take a look at, please just type it here in main chat, and I'll be happy to take a look at that. All right, moving on down, crowd. It's not able to execute this trade yet. It pulled back into our neutral. All right, and so you can see it here. It's holding the neutral. This is what we were looking for yesterday. It pulled down into the daily edge. This is where it found buyers. And just to go back on what I taught yesterday is when it pulled and broke this area, I wasn't going to do anything. I wanted to wait for it to reclaim. I think it was later on in the day, so I never took the trade. What I'm looking for today, and probably most likely for this week, as you can see, is an inside week. Listen, this is something that will help you out big time. If it's an inside week, I do not expect price to go over this base candle. If it does, that's great. But anytime I see an inside week, I think it's going to basically be choppy to inside. It's Tuesday. Sure, we have, 3.5 days to go. But this level right here needs to break. All right, so find that base up here and at around 269, that's where I'd start getting excited that the neutral is holding. If you come over here, notice that the 269 is a trendy edge, so it needs to get above that level before I start to get excited. So I'm going to go ahead while we're on here live. I'm going to create an alert at or above. I can also create an OCO order with the options and take this long. So greater than or equal to my level here, just say 269. I'm long with a stop under 264.57, looking for 272.79 and so forth up towards 287 for a nice swing. Okay. All right, so Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree started to look. It's really moving slow here. I am in this position as well. I still like it. Would love to add to it. It is in a consolidation period. You could see that. Okay, so it's just kind of hanging out in here. The bigger move happens over 101.03. All right, so you guys want to take a look at Tesla. I had mentioned yesterday on social media with a gentleman that I expect this not to be an easy trade, right? Even with earnings, it's just not been fun this year to trade unless you've taken it at the extreme lows or in this green box. Then you did pretty well. But as we approach the trendy edge, notice that there's resistance here. I know that some of you guys trimmed your equity positions yesterday after earnings. So nice and good on you for that. And congratulations. However, the bigger trade, folks, is going to be over 683.5. Okay, so if you're sitting at home, I'm telling you right now, if we can hold above this pink level and get there, then things are going to look a lot better for Tesla. For right now, I think that it's not an easy trade, so you have to trade at the extreme level of the down move, which is around that 628, or 645. And then if you're just kind of holding in a position, then we're waiting for this to be claimed. Okay, we created a little bit of supply right in here, resistance right at the trendy edge, so I do not expect this level to break easy. But when it does and it holds, we are then looking for that move towards 718, 750, and so forth. So just stay patient with Tesla. What I did is I had 80 plus days on a position. I decided to sell a call against it, so I just made myself a debit spread, which reduced my risk significantly because, again, look at it. You know, it closed at 657. It's at 663. Pretty lame action overall. All right, so for right now, this thing looks pretty sideways. Matter of fact, iron condors above the 683 level and down here below 640 look ideal. And if for some reason it goes against, can manage those iron condors and create a long position. Okay. All right, and next one here, let's look at ZM. That's another request, so we'll take a look at that. All right, so we're pretty much flat here. This is actually a beautiful trade starting to round up. I will tell you this from a weekly standpoint, we are looking for 386. Okay, straightforward, 386. All right, as long as this green arrows can hold, and so that is at or around, give me 1 second here, around 365.95. 365.95 holds. I'm looking for 386. It's looking pretty good. You do have a strong inside and down here, Omer, on the weekly. So this is going to be resistance. You may not see 386. You could just kind of tap around 383 to 385. Okay. All right, let's look at UPS. I do think that's worth looking at on a pretty strong pullback here. You could see they were holding the bullish channel here for quite some time at 208 into earnings. But one thing to note here, Trendy members, you can see that the Trendy Edge did you very well. Okay, so once again, price comes up to the Trendy Edge. We don't do anything, right? It's resistance. So we're looking for that reclaim before you do anything there. It was holding the bullish channel, but could not break over the trendy edge. Now where are we? Price is down here towards 193. Follow the Fibonacci's, and you can see we're still above the 618. And so what that means for me is that during this rally breakout, that the golden fib is saying the trend is not broken. So this could be a nice buying opportunity at 191.66 if for some reason it just kind of sells off. Who cares? Right? We're not taking a blind trade. What we want to see is that 191.66 can be reclaimed. So let me just kind of demonstrate that for you. It falls, you're like, that's not working. So set an alert here, and then when it reclaims, this could be a great opportunity to try to trade this back up to these levels. Okay? Yeah, exactly. All right, so you can see the inside and up though. So on the flip side of that, folks, if we start to close under 191.66, look for about an 85% probability that we come down into the 180, 185 area. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Chewy, kind of sideways. We started this trade, I believe we did this live yesterday. I trimmed at 14%, and then I took some more off at break even, and then left a contract because it's a swing, and it was 25 plus days, I believe. And that closed down like 30%, 30-ish percent just on that remaining contract. So really at the end of the day, I'm down 15% on this trade, which is not a big deal. But what the bigger picture on Chewy, very important for us to look at the weekly since we're talking about a swing. There was a topping wick. It came into selling pressure up here, pulled back to support at 85.95, and it's just kind of trying to hold that area. If 85.95 gives way, I'll probably get out of the position. You might see this come all the way back to the 83 level. Okay, that's Chewy. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at HD. It started to come back very nicely yesterday. Um, that position actually came back to positive. You just had to give it a little bit of time. Notice it came back into the 327 level and then found buyers. And then this morning with the market down just a little bit, just like most things across the board, things are down and sideways. It looks like a nice little flag here. My trigger on this is going to be 334.38 to potentially add back into the trade for a bigger move towards 345. Okay. Now on the risk side to the downside, it's 318.22, and really if that's too wide, 323 should hold here. All right. All right, Ford has earnings, I believe. Is it today, guys? Let's go ahead and take a look here. 728 after market. So no reason to go over that for right now. All right, got some PFE here. I added above here. I've already trimmed. I believe our initial cost was like 70 cents, and those were going for $1 yesterday. Not a huge win. I thought it might move a little bit bigger. I was looking for that 42 and a half. They do have earnings coming up, right? And I believe those are tomorrow. Let me just see here. 7:28 before market central time. Okay, and they also have a dividend coming up. Again, this is one of those where earnings is right around the corner. And if it wasn't, we reclaim the trendy edge. We got a little bit of selling pressure here on this topping wick. This thing really looks like that it could start moving towards the highs around 43.98. I like this, but again, you have to question whether or not you want to hold something into earnings, especially options, especially if you're not a long-term trader. It's just not worth it. So we'll try to look at least I'll be looking at trimming or closing out this position as we head higher, potentially into today's close. Okay. All right, PayPal I took off yesterday, and also let's take a look here at Roku. All right, this is my chart for Roku. Check it out. Our levels are working very well. You can see here this is resistance. This is inside and down. Prices moved up into this area. And, at the end of the day, this is your trigger here. It reminds me of Apple, where if it can't get over 486.73, I think it continues to chop and go down. Your support is 448, so it's just a sideways trade for right now until momentum comes back into the market. I do believe a lot of traders are waiting for that confirmation to look at numbers for earnings. Okay. Uh, Either way, you can see down here also my indicator got you to go long over this 447 level, and it's pushed up pretty nicely since then. So, and let's look at. We already looked at Airbnb, correct? Yeah, we did. Let's look at Upstart. They started to give us a little bit of something yesterday. I do believe this breaks out towards 200 towards the end of the year, but it is underneath the trendy edge, and the bigger move again is not going to happen until we start to close under this. This thing has been a pain in the ass across the board over and over. 123 it needs, so you can always just set alert just right around there. Let's get right underneath there, about right there. We'll put that alert there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Netflix. All right, so this is Netflix Blueprint. I gave this to you guys a long time ago, actually, not too long ago. And you can see this is working well. It came in this week into your lower box. That's where you buy this name, equity, options, whatever you feel like doing. And you see your risk there, and they move to the upside. We can see right around this trendy edge, 530 to the upside, and then over that 543 and then 550. They do have earnings coming up. You can see here as far as formation goes, this is all consolidation. I love this because if they can do well, then we're going to get a really solid move out of this level once we break through all of this resistance and supply. Then we could see up towards $700. So, this one's a patient trade. And it could easily break down as well. But for right now, as long as 510 holds, I am looking for that move up towards 530 and 543. All right. Looks like they had earnings on 720. Yeah, 720. So as long as they're holding down here, things are looking good, Omer. And then their next earnings October 19th. So the big thing I want to concentrate on today, just really quick, so I can give you my overall sentiment, is bullish. You can see the ES is coming in a little bit at 11.5. It's important also over here for us to concentrate on this methodology. You can see that IWM is basically neutral to down. DIA just kind of cracked right above, came back down into support. Very sideways action. We talked about this on our broad market analysis that we pushed out over the weekend. My overall expectation was sideways, into these numbers. A lot of people feel like we're extended. A lot of people are thinking that we should have a big pullback. Inflation gets tossed around like it's candy. For me personally, I'm tired of hearing about it. So I just want to stick to my levels. And as of right now, I just expect sideways movement. So please stay in there, stay patient. Know what your risks are, know what your targets are, and if you can, enjoy your life. So put alerts up, notifications where you want to be stopped out. You can also use stops in options. You can also use targets in options. You don't even have to be in front of the screen. Enjoy your time, right? If you're in a swing trade, pay attention to the weekly and the monthly charts, right? Understand what your risk is, and if you're happy with that risk, let it do its thing. If you're intraday trading, that's a little bit different. Of course, you want to just stick right in front of the charts if you can. But we also have different things for that for day traders. So if you're looking at scalping and so forth, that's where we like to use what's called the PMZ. So I'm going to come over here to a 5-minute chart, and I want you to see this as we open up here, how this can really help out. Now this setup right now on a 5-minute chart, this is your pre-market zone right here. And you can see that as long as price stays under here, this is what we call a negative right now. So price is underneath the line in the sand and price is underneath the PMZ. Okay. And so our risk as of right now, just go ahead and go up here, is about 2 points on the ES. What I'm looking for is if price can build value here, kind of come back down, make higher highs. Then I'm looking for 44.09 and then a move up towards 44.15. If price stays underneath this PMZ, I am not interested in going long on anything. Okay, just kind of stay put, let things come in, so forth. Again, you could see buyers come in at 43.95 and possibly down here at 43.87. Okay, so just kind of put this on. I'm going to play a little bit of music, kind of chill out here. Good luck, everybody, with trading today. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me here in the Discord room. I'll be happy to answer you. All right. All right, guys, about 40 seconds to open here. Let's see how we react off of this PMZ this morning. Should be fun. All right. Do I got coffee? I need some coffee. Goodness. Right? So, all right, let's rock and roll, baby. All right. That was a nice bell. All right, so notice here at PMZ right away, inside and down formation, potentially back down here into 43.96. See if we get a nice little bounce here. Yeah, that Baba really came in big time. Dollar Tree. Let's see, what is this? Melly. Okay. All right, notice on our indicators here, don't forget, you see these nice little arrows here. Then we got this inside and down here. I'd like to see if price is going to come right back into 43.95 and push up here. We'll see. Thanks, babe. All right, guys. So far, just a little tap here, and the reason why I love using ES as my steering wheel. This thing for me for the last several years will really give you a lot of indication on what's going to happen in the market. Obviously, I look at Nasdaq futures, oil futures, Bitcoin futures, all that fun stuff. But this is going to let me know whether or not we got buyers in the market right now. We're coming into an inside and up formation on a 5 minute. That's a really short scalp sort of look to things. I prefer the higher time frame, but when we're kind of stuck and we're like, okay, wait a minute, we open up sideways to down, what's going on, right? I like to look for these little levels here, and that's what I'm going to concentrate on for right now. Notice over here on the weekly, we've already went inside now, which to me makes a lot of sense, folks. We're going inside on the week during earnings. So basically, indecision candle. DIA broke above, now breaking down below. And you can see here a daily edge. Q's back in a neutral, SPY back in a neutral, IWM back in a neutral. Very hard to get some follow through right now coming into earnings. So, all right, so we're digging deep into this inside and up. If you were to come underneath the structure, this would be your level right there. Again, inside and up. Let's see if it can start to reclaim above 43.95 here. Tesla now red, folks, down $5. Going to be hard for the Nasdaq. You can see they're 47 points down right now. All right, there we go. So starting to reclaim a little bit here. If you've never traded futures, basically ES, like I said, every 10 points is about a dollar in the SPY. You could trade off a blueprint of the ES. But also, you have the micros out there, and the micros are amazing because they're very inexpensive to leverage, but they're a great learning tool for anybody that wants to basically learn, graduate into bigger contracts such as the ES. So your risk is very small compared to going straight up with an ES contract. Let's take a look at Tesla really quick, just so we can go over some of this stuff and check out what's happening. Roku starting to bid a little bit, up about $4 this morning. Remember what I said? Look for that 486.72. See if they can push over that. All right, Tesla coming down into the daily edge. Also over here, this level here, and starting to go bid. There goes Roku, getting very close. And a little bit of volume on the weeklies here on the 500s. Pretty expensive, if you ask me. But nonetheless, trying to work its way up there. Tesla back to flat. And let's get Upstart here. Nothing to do right now, just stay patient. What is going on? How's Charles Thinkorswim acting? Okay. There's a bullish bark from Aspen. All right. That's BMAC. He just came in the door. Him and his woman. Aspen saying hello. Yeah, he's feeling better. Had some Sean. I think he asked me this morning how he was doing. He's doing better, man. So, all right, there goes Roku now, up 9. All right, guys, did you take that trigger on the 486? Sean, I know you did. See if it can continue to move here. Maybe you'll see 500 this week or next week. Here we go, 489. You can see ES still trying here. Looks like they're just trying to create some range, guys. When you think about that, in the first 30 minutes to an hour, we got earnings coming up. A lot of these things are at all-time highs. You want to create range, so the market's going to come in a little bit. It's going to find a level where there's buyers. Then we're going to kind of stall, and then create range for just in case we get some sort of big big earnings plays. I guess that boat I saw, yeah, that kind of says it all, right? That picture I pushed out there, all volatility, that was a sign. A little bit of vol. let's see here. Hey, how are you? Yeah, yeah. And what's been interesting about Baba is they're not losing a lot of premium. I mean, they are, but they're not. You know, you'd imagine by now this thing would have went to zero. What are you guys working out together? Oh, where's Brian? Oh, he's just hanging out in there. Gotcha. Cool. All right, let's go over here and check out. All right, holding neutral, neutral. Everything's freaking neutral. IWM's the only thing that continues to be pretty much a laggard. Going across my favorites, nothing's really standing out. Everything's pretty much down at the moment. AMD, nice little move. Amazon, 20 yen. This Facebook I'm actually really interested in. I don't usually say this out loud, right? I usually say low probability trades. I kind of like a low probability trade, Facebook into earnings. So I'll be checking out those out here shortly. So far, you can see nice little pullbacks to reset. Came into levels though, even on Facebook from the trendy edge, pushing up nicely. FedEx down 13 bucks this morning. So FedEx, UPS, and so forth. I'll be looking at those as they continue down. I'm not a huge fan of buying things on the first day down. I'd like to see 1 to 3 days or 2 to 3 days to the downside. And let's see, PFE trying to come back just a tad. ZM, same thing. Wow. TTD, Sean, I think you said you took that this morning and then trimmed very quickly. Nice trade on that. Yeah, Mo. See that as well. Looks like an inside and up from that 83 level. Could be looking at 87. Yeah, this 87 level here. Open, let's see, Roberto, open Apple 155 by 167.30 spread for earnings tonight. Risk is my cost. There you go, man. You know how to do it. How are you doing with trading this week? Over trading. I mean, we're only on what day we on Tuesday. I know that was something that you wanted to work on this week. I'm looking across the board. There's not much I want to touch right now, so give me a few minutes. Good. It's good, man. Levels. Come on, baby. Come on, levels. Kind of coming in there. Let's go ahead and look over at the ES futures. Nice on TTD. I think TTD, if you can take out this high, you're going to see 86. So good job on that for you guys. let's go over here and take a look at Apple. See down here, guys, on this trade flash, you can see like buy 3,946 Apple 100, 19 November 21s, 140 put at 572 for 130 total deltas. So some of this information is free to you if you just use Thinkorswim. Check out Melly over here. What's up, dude? Nice mustache, man. Huh? Oh, did you try it? I told you. Isn't it crazy? Yeah. Oh, really? That's funny. I could smell it when you walked up. Yeah, I can smell it. Yeah, that's. I'm not on live camera, but I'm on just live. Why? Good to see you, man. Yeah, for sure, dude. Let's see, what do we got going on here? Market's a dump fest right now. Yeah. Anything that was good yesterday or the day before is kind of coming in now. QQQ, just mark that or below. Oh, really? Yeah, that's kind of how it's been going, right? You had that 1 week last week to really go go big, and then this week is going to be pretty choppy and volatile into earnings. So it feels like one of those days. If it's green, it'll be red. You know, BFE's trying to make that run, man. I thought it would grow a little bit more premium than this, though. Unfortunately, it is not. It's up. Yeah, Roku +9 to red. It's super volatile, guys. And I'm going to close this Chewy leftover that I had. Very small. Give me an opportunity to become more cash here. Airbnb can't follow through as well. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Let's get Dollar Tree really quick. What, the market in general? The market in general? Yeah. Mm, let's see. Yeah, they're trying, man. All right. So far, so on the cues, Trendy Edge trying to hold. Right here on DIA, Trendy Edge trying to hold. IWM below neutral. If you like shorting, I probably wouldn't have a stop too high up, but this inside and down could continue as long as price stays under 218.90. But we are starting to see a bounce in the market here, so not a big one, but man, Roku. That was an ugly shot. Did you sell? Oh my god. Man, as soon as you sent me that message, it feels like it just went straight down.